1800 hours Pakistan Standard Time. Assalamu alaikum. This is Radio Pakistan. The news read by Daman Zaman. The headlines. The Prime Minister says Pakistan is among the top 10 countries in the ease of doing business. The Minister for Communications has said the government is committed to the uplift of the tribal districts and losses of tribal traders will be compensated. The Special Assistant on National Health Services says 199 health information booths have been set up at various airports in the wake of the coronavirus threat. A United Nations report has admitted that Pakistan has been a victim of cross-border terrorism. In occupied Kashmir, the All Parties Hurriyat Conference has called upon the international community to play its role in the settlement of the Kashmir dispute in line with the United Nations resolutions. The Palestinian president says the United States want to do away with the United Nations resolutions and impose its own plan in favor of Israel. And now the news in detail. Prime Minister Imran Khan has expressed the confidence that Pakistan would become the hub of investment after having achieved economic progress. In an interview with Turkish news agency, he said economic crisis inherited from previous government has now been overcome and the current account deficit curtailed by almost 75% during the last 1.5 years. He said Pakistan is one of the top 10 countries, which went up 28 points in ease of doing business. The Prime Minister said confidence of the business community has increased and economic growth is being witnessed besides upward trend in the stock market. He said the next challenge for the government is to bring down inflation and increase growth in the country. Imran Khan said foreign direct investment in the country has also witnessed a big jump. However, we are trying to maintain the trend stable. The Prime Minister said the government is trying to improve governance and ease of doing business in the country. The Minister for Communications, Murad Said, says sacrifices rendered by the people of Waziristan for peace in the country are commendable. Talking to the traders of Waziristan in Islamabad today, he said the merger of erstwhile FATA into Khyber Pakhtunkhwa will bring positive developments to these areas. The minister said losses of the traders will be compensated and every possible step will be taken to support them. Murad Said said Prime Minister Imran Khan is committed to the uplift of the tribal districts and special allocation in the budget has been made for schools and universities in erstwhile FATA. Over 200,000 youths from across the country have applied for the Prime Minister's Hunarmand Pakistan program launched by the government last month. According to an official of the National Vocational and Technical Training Commission, interviews of the applicants have been started at over 500 technical and vocational training institutions of the country. The government has allocated 30 billion rupees for Hunarmand Pakistan, under which the youth would be equipped with market-oriented skills. The Special Assistant to the Prime Minister on National Health Services, Dr. Zafar Mirza, says 199 health information booths have been set up at various airports of the country to cope with the threat of coronavirus. In a series of tweets, he said these booths will provide answers to queries about the coronavirus. He said another landmark in a very short time is the completion of coronavirus clinical care and prevention guidelines. It includes full instructions on case definition, inpatient, outpatient treatment, handling of diagnostic samples, and even home care. Dr. Zafar Mirza said the government of Pakistan is trying its best to ensure safety and well-being of our students in Wuhan. Medical supplies from Pakistan for Wuhan, a central Chinese city hit by the new coronavirus, arrived in China. The Pakistani government has allocated 300,000 medical masks, 800 hazmat suits, and 6,800 pairs of gloves from the stocks of public hospitals and transported the aid to China. Meanwhile, a Pakistani doctor who volunteered to treat coronavirus patients in Wuhan epidemic area as a volunteer has got appreciation from Pakistani students and community members residing in China. Dr. Usman is the first foreign doctor who stepped forward to treat infected people in Wuhan as a volunteer. Turkey has been a strong supporter of Pakistan, and brotherly relations between the two countries should manifest in strengthening and enhancement of trade and human resource development. This was stated by the speakers at a seminar in Ankara. Pakistan's envoy to Turkey, Mohammad Cyrus Sajjad Qazi, speaking on the occasion, said Turkey is one of the important and strongest supporters of self-determination right for Kashmiris. He said high-level political and defense exchanges between the two countries is a symbol of their unique relationship. A senior advisor to Turkey's President Recep Tayyip Erdogan, Yalcin Topçu, said Erdogan raised the issue of Kashmir at the United Nations last September. He said, whatever the situation, we have always been close to Pakistan. This is Radio Pakistan. The monitoring team of the United Nations Security Council in a report has admitted that Pakistan has been a victim of cross-border terrorism emanating from Afghanistan. The report also expressed concern over the growth of terrorist organizations in Afghanistan and their impact on the region. Pakistan has consistently maintained that certain terrorist elements have been targeting Pakistan from the bases in Afghanistan. In occupied Kashmir, the All Parties Hurriyat Conference has called upon the international community to play its role in the settlement of the Kashmir dispute as per the aspirations of the Kashmiri people and in line with the relevant resolutions of the United Nations Security Council. The call has been made in a statement issued after a meeting in Jammu. The meeting said the people of the territory are being subjected to the worst kind of human rights violations, particularly after the abrogation of Jammu and Kashmir's special status in the Indian Constitution. The participants of the meeting also affirmed that Kashmiris resolve to continue the liberation movement till it reaches its logical conclusion. Meanwhile, residents of Damhal, Hanjipura, and adjacent areas of Kulgam district staged a protest demonstration against the brutalities of the Indian troops. Eyewitnesses told the media that on seeing pro-freedom posters pasted on the walls and streets in Damhal area, the troops went berserk and started beating whosoever came in their way. The Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas says the United States want to abolish former United Nations resolutions and international legitimacy decisions on Israeli-Palestinian conflict and the use of new American plan as the only reference. He stated this while speaking at an emergency meeting of the Arab foreign ministers in Cairo. Mahmoud Abbas said the United States is a biased mediator and he will head to the United Nations Security Council to protest the deal and find a solution. He urged the formation of an international mechanism to implement the resolutions of the international legitimacy and the Arab Peace Initiative endorsed by the Arab League in Beirut in 2002. Meanwhile, Russia has warned that the so-called deal of the century peace plan presented by the United States contravenes several United Nations resolutions. The Russian news agency cited a Kremlin spokesman as saying Moscow questions the feasibility of American peace plan for the Middle East. European Union and Britain will begin trade talks from tomorrow after the United Kingdom's formal withdrawal from the bloc. Earlier, Britain's Prime Minister had warned that he won't accept alignment with the European Union rules when Britain negotiates a trade deal with Brussels. Meanwhile, speaking to Sky News, British Foreign Secretary Dominic Raab said the United Kingdom would not have high alignment with the European Union rules. And finally, the weather. Mainly cold and dry weather is expected in most parts of the country, while very cold conditions in North Balochistan, Upper Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, Gilgit-Baltistan and Kashmir during the next 12 hours. However, fog is likely to prevail in the plain areas of the Punjab. And that is the end of this news bulletin. For more news and analyses, log on to our website, radio.gov.pk, and you can also watch live video streaming of our bulletins on the link, facebook.com/Radio Pakistan News Official.